I learned the road to late to see my dreams, but just in time to save the world. Magic never answered when I begged it to. Magic never moved when I wanted it most. Magic listened only when I stopped caring whether it listened at all. As a child, I wished for sparks and got silence. As a student, I studied harder and failed louder. As a mage, I chased mastery and found emptiness staring back. The first spell that worked happened after I gave up on magic entirely. I threw my spell book into a river because I was tired of believing. The river stopped flooding the city that night. I didn't notice at first because I wasn't watching. Hope had finally loosened its grip on my hands. That was the cost magic demanded. Want nothing and you may have everything. Desire is noise, abandonment is clarity. When I still cared about my future, spells slipped through me like water through fingers. When I stopped imagining success, reality bent like it had been waiting. Teachers praised ambition while secretly fearing students like me. They called me undisciplined because I no longer practiced. They called me dangerous when my spells worked anyway. I learned quickly never to want results. If I hoped a wow would close, it stayed open. If I walked away resigned, flesh knit itself quietly. If I dreamed of saving a village, it burned. If I accepted its loss, rain arrived late, but enough. People think magic is about will. It is about release. The world does not respond to longing. It responds to surrender. Every spell is a funeral for a desire. The more personal the dream, the harder it is to bury. I tried to save my brother while still believing I could. The spell shattered my hands instead. I sat beside him afterward, numb and empty, because grief had finished me. His breathing steadied when I stopped hoping. He lived because I had already lost him in my heart. That was the day I understood the cruelty completely. Magic demands you mourn before it helps. The kingdom learned my secret the way kingdoms always do. Through desperation, they sent envoys with gold I did not want. They sent priests with prayers I did not believe. They sent soldiers who threatened things I had already released. When nothing binds you, nothing can be taken. They asked me to stop a war. I wanted peace too badly. The spell failed and cities burned. I walked the ruins afterward feeling hollowed out by ash and screams. When grief replaced hope, order softened. Armies forgot why they marched. Peace arrived without banners. The council crowned me a savior I never wanted to be. Wanting nothing made me powerful. Wanting nothing made me alone. I stopped dreaming carefully. I stopped planning entirely. I lived like a ghost, inside my own life. Friends learned not to ask me what I wanted. Lovers learned not to wait for promises. Magic bloomed in my absence like weeds through stone. The world improved while I detached from it. That should have frightened me more than it did. Then the prophecy arrived, because prophecies always arrive when choice has already died. It said the world would end unless its last hope was abandoned. They said I was the last hope. They begged me to want the world to survive. I couldn't. Caring would doom it. Every instinct in me screamed to hold on. Every spell I knew demanded I let go. I tried to fake indifference. Magic knows the difference. The sky darkened when I pretended not to care. The oceans rose when I whispered false acceptance. Only real. Surrender counts. The world began to fracture because I still loved it. I walked to the edge of everything carrying my last dream like a loaded weapon. I remembered laughter, warmth, unfinished conversations, and the idea that tomorrow mattered. Each memory weakened the spell I needed to cast. I understood then why magic hates hope. Hope ties outcomes to hearts. Magic requires freedom from consequence. To save the world, I had to stop wanting it to exist. I sat beneath the collapsing sky and let myself imagine nothing continuing. I imagined silence without mourning. I imagined emptiness without fear. I imagined a universe that did not need meaning. Something inside me finally broke. Not painfully, but gently, like a rope set down. The last spell triggered without words. Reality stabilized because I know. Longer cared if it did. Mountains settled. Time resumed breathing. The apocalypse forgot its own name. The world survived because I had already said goodbye. They celebrated for weeks while I felt nothing at all. They called it sacrifice because that word sounds noble. It was simpler than that. I stopped, wanting. I walked away from everything magic had saved. Fields grew where my footsteps no longer reached. Children learned spells that failed because they still dreamed. That is how it should be. Magic is not meant for those who hope. It belongs to the exhausted, the finished, the empty-handed. I live now in a quiet place where nothing needs fixing. If something breaks, I let it be broken. Sometimes it heals itself, sometimes it doesn't. I don't mind either way. The world continues because I no longer ask it to.